starting my live in just a minute or two. Just got on a flodge, and we're going to be talking about the fundamentals of social media marketing and how you can leverage it as an artist, whether you're a photographer, model, or any other creative that's looking to leverage social media and get a better grip. I'm going to share with you some fundamental basics that have helped me to empower uh, the job I work at, the company I work at, their social media and their brand presence. So I'm going to share with you some tips today, some fundamentals. So just give it a minute, just letting things go on. Cool. Looks like we are a go everywhere else right now. Hey, everybody on Instagram, very much appreciate it. Let me cut this little loop off right quick and get into it. Hey everyone, Robert Silver here for another episode, an installment, if you will, for Marketing Mondays. And yes, here on Marketing Monday, I want to share with you some great marketing strategies, tips, and advice that has helped me to increase my brand presence, but as well as the brands I've worked for and created content for. And that's one of the things I get questioned a lot the most as a photographer is a lot of the business side of things and how they themselves can apply what I've been doing to their strategy. And everything I do is mostly, I'll have to say it's 99% organic. Like, I don't pay for it. It's not paid advertising. Sometimes I boost a post or two, but anyway. So like I said, this week is going to be about the fundamentals of social media marketing, basics that you need to know as an artist. And again, this is for any photographer, model, designer, any creative really that spends so much time creating and doesn't have enough time for the business part. And I always say to my assistants or anybody else that asks, you should be spending 80% of your time marketing, 10 to 20% on the fun stuff, on the creative stuff. But really, if you really want to make sure that you're never a starving artist, if you have that mindset, it's going to work out for you, because I don't care what industry it is. If you're looking to make money, it's a business, okay? So treat it as such. It doesn't mean you have to lose all passion for your business. It doesn't mean you have to lose all faith in being an artist and you're selling out, but you have to be real. Like, we have bills to pay. So I want to use each Monday at 8 p.m. Pacific, 11 o'clock in the East Coast, take this time to share with you what I've learned and share even the mistakes, because I've made plenty, and I want to make sure that you don't make the same that I've been making. Let me just see if anybody's dropping any comments, etc., anywhere else. So anyway, before we get into it, I do want to share this. Please, if you haven't already, feel free to follow me on Robert Silver Photography on YouTube. For everybody that, hey, thanks Alyssa, thanks everybody checking in on Instagram. Feel free to follow me on my YouTube. You could just click the link in my bio on my Instagram, and you could click on my YouTube, subscribe to that. Please show your love. It's a very inexpensive way to show your support. Of course, if you're not, and you're tuning in, if you're not following me on Instagram, but you're tuning in with me on YouTube, Twitter, or Facebook, go ahead to Instagram, Robert Silver Photography. And of course, I'm on Twitter and everything else, okay? I'm mostly active on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, quite honestly. TikTok, I got it. You can find me, Robert Silver Photography. And I'm active-ish on there. So anyway, so that's that. The other thing is, if you want to show your support, this is the best way you can do it, folks, okay? Because I'm going to share with you some great advice, life lessons I've learned along the way, and I want to share that with you, okay? Now, with all that said, yes, a share and a subscribe would be super duper helpful, and it's the most cost-effective way to show your love, show your support, sharing this video. But the other thing that you can be doing is, another way is, you could send a small little donation over to Cash App, okay? Help a brother out, because I do research. I put together these things, and also I've made mistakes at my work. And then I want to bring those lessons to you, and these lessons are valuable. It's going to help you increase your brand awareness on social media, you can send my Cash App at $ Robert Silver 247. Or if you're on YouTube, you could just do a good old fashioned super chat. Okay, so I am monetized. You can definitely do a super chat on there, but I think Cash App, like I can get it that day versus super chat waits a super long time. Well, that's YouTube. But anyway, so those are two ways you can show your love, show your support. The link in the description section on YouTube has my Cash App link. So if you feel like going there, bless me with a little something, then it'll help me to keep blessing you with some knowledge. All right, so like I said, this week is going to be about the fundamentals of social media marketing. Okay, that's what we're going to be talking about. That's what this is all about. So, with that said, you can let me pull up some of the notes I got right here. There we go. 1 and 2. Cool. I like that. And then give me a second here. Sorry, guys. Cool. All right, I'm just pulling up my notes on my Apple Notes here. Cool. And all right. Sorry about that. I think it's on my phone then. Let's take a look here. Okay. Now, while I'm just pulling up these quick notes, help me understand what part of social media has been the most struggling aspects for you to get a grip on. Is it creating a strategy? Is it understanding hashtags? Is it not being able to reach out to the people you want? Like, as if are you having trouble trying to find the right models in your area or any models in your area using social media? Um, is it that no one's seeing your content? Are you having struggles with people seeing your content? Because I know a lot of photographers out there, I hear that a lot. Is why isn't anybody seeing my stuff? And I know that could be a struggle. That could for sure be a struggle. There we go. Sorry about that, Instagram people. Okay, so let's get into it. Okay, this is what we're gonna. All right, there we go. Wow, that's such a huge help. Wow, this my iCloud didn't transfer over to my iMac. It stayed right there on my. Anyway, okay. All right, let's get into it. So the first thing about social media marketing is to understand that your ultimate goal should be to be creating a community. So therefore, don't whatever it is you're doing, you want to try to hit one of these few fundamentals that really work, like the kind of content that resonates the most, and it's been proven. This is statistically proven, is either entertaining, informational, or inspirational. And if you can hit two or three, shoot, if you can hit the trifecta, you're definitely winning. But those are the three types of content that generally is going to resonate, ergo go viral. So whatever we're going to talk about today, think about how you can create content that is relatable to your specific audience, not to you specifically, but to your audience, to the people that you're trying to reach. If I'm trying to reach as a portrait photographer, let's say models, I need to create content that is speaking to them, that's either entertaining, inspirational, or educational or informational. Okay, and not necessarily whether I like it, but does it relate to them? So whatever we're going to talk about, think about those three things. It needs to be one of those things. Entertain, and if you can, again, do two out of the three. It could be it could be entertaining and inspirational, entertaining and educational. It could be a lot of things. Um, but ultimately, you want to try to hit at least two of those if you can, but let it stay within those realms. I do often see times people put up content and it's not either of those things. They're just putting it up to put it up, and then that's why they're only getting 5, 6, 16 likes, etc., and zero engagement. You want to be able to make sure that whatever content you're good at, you're gonna try to even create. It's gonna start off with the mindset of, or at least you want to make sure it answers one of those questions. Is it educational? Is it entertaining? Or is it informational? Right? And I mean inspirational. And that's why there are some things that are just cute and bubbly, and it's just someone helping out somebody else, an old lady across the street, etc. And it's this inspiring kind of situation. It's just awe inspiring. It's like, you know what, some do good kind of thing, and it seems to go viral. But yet it took almost absolutely zero effort for that content creator to record and just post that. But those are the three things that resonate with the most people. Okay. Now, with that said, I think one of the things that has helped me one of the fundamental things that has enabled me to leverage social media is um, understanding hashtags. Now, hashtags with Instagram are um, are effective, but there's like a whole list of variables that you need to implement as well as hashtags. So you can't just rely on 15, 20 hashtags. You really have to have you have to use their tools, a bunch of other stuff to play with the algorithm to say like, wow, this person's actually using our stuff, and considering it an important or relatable post to share. So, but hashtags are super important. Just like when you're doing SEO marketing, um, in general, like let's say your website, which is search engine, when you're optimizing your website for the search engine, let's say Google, you're inserting meta tags and adding keywords and phrases. The titles of each page is super important because, again, those are keywords and phrases is what people use to type in Google search, and that's why your website or a picture on your website may pop up that's relatable to that search. So that's the same thing that works inside of Instagram. When you're going to that search part or in YouTube and you type in Bay Area models, since I'm in the Bay Area, I'm just going to say that. When you're saying Bay Area models, that's a keyword phrase. And then things that those hashtags, that photos and videos that are used on, the all that content's going to pop up for that keyword phrase, right? Bay Area models. So that's why when I'm thinking of, okay, I'm going to be shooting in LA in 2 weeks, maybe I should start doing hashtags that says LA photographers, LA photographer, Los Angeles photographer, SoCal photographers, all those sort of things where if I'm trying to place my content in front of people who are looking for SoCal photographers, LA photographers, Los Angeles photographers, that sort of thing, then that's how I'm going to plan to organically try to increase the chance or the likelihood of a potential client in SoCal to see my content. Now, when I do that, I always try to do it, a couple weeks in advance so that there's like, they can see that it's not just a one shot, like, oh, he just happened to use it one time. They can see that maybe he really is available in SoCal. Now, I've done that before for looking for talent as well. If I'm going back to New York, right, and I'm visiting my family, um, I'm going to type in Brooklyn models, NYC models, etc. And that has enabled me to find great quality content of potential models to work with just by going through the search because I'm thinking like my hashtag. This is how I'm using hashtags. So this is why it's important for you to attach relevant hashtags to the target audience. Use hashtags that are relevant to the target audience that you're trying to attract and get your content in front of. Okay, if you're um, if you're trying to get commercial work, you need to be doing commercial photography, still photography, like hashtag agency photographer, anything that's commercial, like editorial photographer, anything that you feel that, let's say an agent, you're trying to work for an ad agency or marketing agency one day, um, then you need to use hashtags that are relevant to that specifically. So, granted, it does help to use hashtags that are relevant to the content you're posting as well. But again, I I mean, I add portrait photographer, right? Uh, that's relevant because I'm a portrait photographer, but it's a huge hashtag. But what I'm saying is like, okay, if yeah, you have to. What I do is I try to balance a little bit of both. Sure, I do photographers, etc., but I try to get very specific. So like, okay, this is what worked for me when I. Since I'm in the Bay Area, I used hashtags like SF photographers, Bay Area photographers, East Bay photographers, Oakland photographers, and honestly, I've gotten work straight off of Instagram just because they typed in whatever, you fill in the blank of hashtag that I just said, and it works. I'm telling you, it really works. And you'd be amazed how many times how people use Instagram to look for local talent. So that could be you. And if they type in Bay Area photographer and you're not using Bay Area photographer, because if someone's looking for a portrait photographer, they're looking for in their area, which in this case is the Bay Area or San Francisco or Oakland, then you're going to miss out on that client because they're going to scroll through, see the work they like, then they go to the photographer because that's how they do it. They use the keyword phrase, scroll. Okay, that's the photographer. I love the style, like who it is. Then they go to your profile, and then eventually, after all is said and done, if everything's great, they may just inbox you directly. But um, a lot of times they'll go to your website too. So make sure your website's looking clean, and make sure your website's looking clean, and then of course have a call to action, meaning like a cell phone, an email number. I mean, an email. Have your email address, your cell phone number, etc. Make it stupid easy for them to be able to contact you. Okay, so that's one social media basic that I highly recommend having. And understanding really, and just experiment with it. You'll notice, just experiment with them. I always try to go for the hashtags that seem to get that are more trendier, obviously have been used more, but I also shake it up with some stuff that's relevant too. Okay, so definitely do not leave out hashtags. They're free, but they're super important because that's how people search. If you press that little icon that looks like a what is it, like a little magnifying glass, that's how people are typing in for the content that they're looking for. So in this case, you being a photographer, if they're looking for a photographer, that's what they're going to type in. So you make sure that you're using hashtags. I'd recommend around 10. um I've seen articles where they say do 5 to 6, 3 to 6. I've seen some do up to 10. I've seen say go for the max, which I think is 20 or 20 to or 30. I can't remember, but let's just say 20. So I haven't seen. I've seen people use all 20 and they barely get anything, and I've seen people who use nothing and they got a whole lot. So it also matters on the content. That's why I said before you worry about hashtags and everything, ask yourself before you post or even create the content: is it educational? Is it entertaining, or is it inspiring? If it's one of those three or two of those three, you're on the right track. You tag it up with some good effective hashtags, and then you're off to the races. Okay. Now, another thing about okay, here we go. Another thing about social media marketing right now. Social media is about engaging. That's why I'm live. More people I've seen more than ever is live. You know it. I know it. I get the notifications, the dings, the dongs, and everything else. Because I'm busy pressing bell icons to support people, but at the same time, that lets me know people are consuming more content that is absolutely engaging. If it engages them, and that could be as simple as making them laugh too, okay, or hitting them emotionally. That's why educational, entertaining, And inspirational content gives you serious engagement every time. That's why I started this out saying make sure you ask yourself when you are about to post is does my content answer any of those three questions? So anyway, um shoot, I almost knocked myself out of concentration here. So social media is about engaging. With that said, you when you're making posts, don't just post to post. It's because people care about your post, but man, people really support the person who is posting way more. Okay, I don't know how to say that. But I'm sure you understand what I'm saying. You have to create content that creates a dialogue, whether it be controversy or something awe-inspiring or something that is educational. It's like, oh, this is my advice. This is how I feel. Either way, your content has to create some sort of engagement. When I work, I'm a social media marketing manager at Pure Mind Music and Audio Production School in San Francisco. And when we started before we were implementing that strategy, um, we weren't getting anywhere. Hardly like almost no engagement, no likes, no comments, no shares, no saves, no nothing. I mean, we weren't getting anything. It was, and we were posting like we're out there freaking creating content. We didn't know what was going on. But as soon as we said, you know what, we need to ask more questions. Let's hear from our audience. Let's include them in the process of the content. Like let them be a part of the content we're creating. And getting them part of it is getting them emotionally attached. And one way is to ask them questions. So when you make a post next time, how about asking them? I noticed as simple as like if you post up two versions of your photo, okay, and just say which one do you like? I can't believe just something as simple as that creates so much engagement. I posted up, some of you may know, on Instagram about 6 different logo designs of my new logo, right, that I put together. And I got the most comments ever on my post, not because they were spectacular graphic designs or anything. I wasn't like reinventing the wheel, but people were really engaged and had an awesome opinion on which design they like most. It was a great dialogue, and it was all positive. And I think that is why if you create content that's engaging, because that's what social media is about, social media, right? So if you're not creating engagement around your brand, then you're really, really climbing up hills barefooted on a rocky terrain, sprinkled with glass, blindfolded. Okay, you're doing it the hard way. You might be able to do it, but it's super hard. That's why I recommend these particular strategies. Okay, first is again ask yourself: is my content I'm about to post either educational, is it entertaining, or is it inspirational? Okay, and then how can I create a dialogue between my audience with the caption I'm about to post? Um, and like, what question can I ask? How can I get them to engage with me? And engagement in social media can be numerous things. We all want comments. That's probably the best. Okay. Another one is simply most simple one is that they like it, right, or heart it, or whatever they call it on whatever platform you're using. That's like the cheapest one. It's not cheap in terms of like non-value. It's just like they could just press the damn button, right? Now the ultimate is if they actually comment. So if you never notice, most of the times there's tons of likes, there's a good amount of comments, right? So that comment requires them more effort to actually take their time out of their scrolling to say awesome pick. That means you really hit it for them, or awesome post, whatever the case may be. That's why you want to look for these key things to understand, okay, after a time of you posting content, let's say 7 days, 2 weeks, that it's resonating with your audience, because you want to see these certain factors are rocking. One is, did they press like? And two, did they also comment? What is the ratio between how many likes and comments? Again, The one thing that I've noticed, hey, what's going on, everybody? I really appreciate you tuning in. The one thing that I noticed most is when I started to create content that's purposely to engage with my audience, we saw returns immediately. It was nuts. It was nuts. I almost felt like, damn, I should have been doing that the whole time because it sounds so simple, but yet just I don't think many people understand why and how to even do that. So that's why I said start off with something as simple as ask them questions about what you're posting. Don't just say blue sky or hot model on beach. No shit. Everybody can see that. It's a hot model on the beach. You didn't just reinvent air, okay? So with that said, you need ask them a question. Say, what do you think of the lighting of this? What do you think of this pose and this pose? That's super simple. But I'm telling you, you'll get more engagement, and then people will feel more likely to continue to support you because they feel invested in the content you're creating. And that's what it's about. Again, if your social media is not social, well, then you're not that social. So you need to work on that. It needs to be engaging. Create a dialogue with your audience by any means possible. Even if it's a statement and then like and ending it off with like your thoughts or what do you think, etc. Even if it's even let me tell you people, even negative comments are good for the algorithm. Okay, that's why YouTubers don't care if you press dislike. It doesn't make them not show up anywhere. Their video to all of a sudden disappear. No, actually, dislikes tells the algorithm this video is relevant and people are engaging with it, and actually increases the chance for it to be seen to other people. So when you dislike and hate YouTubers for whatever they're making, that actually helps them in the algorithm. So they are going to say thank you very much, and just like I am with Amy tuning in here. They're going to say thank you very much for disliking my video because it's actually boosting them in the algorithm. So that means when you get a negative comment, as long as it's not personally insulting, racial slur and all this other jazz, then thank them. Hey, thanks. Not a bot, but a comment is important because ultimately it sees 10 comments, it sees 12 comments. So just take a deep breath and just check for the negative stuff, because if it's people are people and everyone's got an opinion. We all know that. That's the other side of social media, but you got to kind of have a thick skin, okay? You know how people are. They're keyboard warriors. They're very brave on social media. They'll say things in particular ways. That's why you need to have a little bit of a thick skin if this is what you want to do. But the biggest benefit of social media marketing for us creatives is the fact that it's free, okay? You give up some other stuff, obviously, your ID, your all your personal information, but you're reaching an unlimited an unlimited source of potential clients in a sense. Facebook, believe it or not, young folks, it reigns supreme in social media users, like bar none. Um, Instagram, believe it or not, way more than TikTok, monthly users. Okay, WhatsApp, and I think the other one, the top four is Google, because of YouTube. Okay, so with that said, you're going to be reaching millions upon millions of people just by having a laptop, and that's why there's almost no reason why you can't create a brand and an identity around what you're doing. Um, I feel like I have tons of work to do. Obviously, I don't have 100,000 followers and all this other jazz, but I'm posting and I'm moving with intention, with purpose, and that's what I want you to do. I don't want you to just keep spinning your wheels and all of a sudden you realize 6 months later, God, I don't see any growth. I don't see this. I don't see that. It's really about consistency in doing these particular and understanding these particular fundamentals that I'm sharing with you today. That's why I said understand hashtags, look them up. Go on Google, say best hashtags for car repair or fashion designer, etc. You'll see Google will happily pull up tons of articles, and that's what helped me to better understand. Because after a few blogs, I started noticing the same keywords. I'm like, wait a minute, I guess that really is important. If different authors of these articles are using the same ones, maybe I should be using them. And it's free. It's freaking free. Okay. Okay. So we went over hashtags. We went over um making sure you're creating engaging content. That's I can't explain how important that is, but you need to create engaging content. Now, as I catch my breath, feel free to post any questions, please. If you want to learn how to level up your social media marketing and your branding on whatever channel you prefer to use, I recommend use them all. Okay, why? They're free. Secondly, never assume your ideal client is on the platform you are. That's why I really try to. Okay, that's number three. You have to be available. Social media, it's free. This is free. It's like the gold rush right now when it comes to marketing yourself. And everybody is using this. Everybody's on one kind of, they're all on a cell phone. If you look up the analytics, the insights, etc., I'm telling you, most people view and consume content through their phone. That means it is a direct line between you, your service and products, to the customer through social media. Do not assume just because you're on Instagram and you're popping that ideal client, that next big client, is on there with you. That's why I try right now. I'm streaming to I got my cell phone right here to here. That has my Instagram live. Thank you everybody for checking in. Thank you, Art. I appreciate that. And then I also have my Facebook live, YouTube live, and Twitter live. So I'm on live on all four platforms. Okay, and if I could, I'd be on Twitch and everything else too. So if you guys help me out, send me a cash app at $Robert Silver. Where are we? Let's go back to these cash apps. You, you might be forgetting right now. Let's go back. So show your support right there on Cash App at $Robert Silver SILVER 247. Help me out. This will allow me to spend more time to research strategies and techniques for you to step your game up, increase your brand identity on social media. Okay. And if not, you could always just head on over to my YouTube channel right now and send me a quick not Snapchat, a super chat. Okay. All right. Now, I think I have a comment over here. Hold on, brother. Oh, yes. All right. Hey, Simon, thank you. Thumbnails, any advice? Okay. That's actually a great question. Okay. If you want to make creative thumbnails, okay, let me go to Buppity Bup. I'm gonna show you right here what I use, and I pay a monthly subscription. They do not sponsor me at all. Okay. Um, give me a sec. I gotta share a screen here. Poppity pop pop. Boom. Let's go to. There we go. All right. So add the stream. Boom, boom, boom. All right. Hopefully you all see this. If you're on Instagram, it's kind of hard for you to see it because you're obviously looking at me through my phone. But if you head on over to YouTube, just click the link in my bio and click on YouTube right now. You can see Marketing Monday. Click on Marketing Monday after you hit that link. And then you can see me right here. And Simon asked me on Facebook, thumbnails, any advice? So this is what I use personally, okay, for my what this is what I use for my designs of thumbnails and also stories, etc. I use this from the company I work at over at PureMind, and then I also work it for me personally. So this works. It's got a double stamp of approval. Let's get to a bigger screen. Actually, there we go. Can everybody see that? Hopefully, okay. If my audio is good, let me know. Instagram folks, you're gonna miss out a little bit. If you could just tune in to me on YouTube, click the link in my bio. click Marketing Mondays, and then you can see what I'm looking at here on the screenshot, okay? But anyway, hang in there, folks. Just listen. All right. So right here is Canva. Canva is awesome. I love Canva. It is a great website. This is the stuff I've used. See, I've created things in here, and you can see what I'm using right here. I've made some dope stuff. I use it. They have several plans in this thing, and I really like it a lot. I used to pay monthly, and then I realized how valuable it is, and then I just so right here you can be like YouTube thumbnails, and boom, bada bing wong. Assignment right here. You can just click on YouTube thumbnails, and it's already sized out for you, and boom. Whoop. Okay, it's taking a second to load up. So, but there you go. YouTube thumbnails. Now you have access, and these are templates. You could change the pictures in the back with your own and upload. You could change the fonts. You could do whatever you want, but these are just templates to start with. But most importantly, the aspect ratio is already perfect for a YouTube thumbnail. And honestly, you can go, let's go back, and you can see right here, I could go, oh, Facebook cover, right? Let's say if I'm making a Facebook cover, and you could just do Facebook and then cover, and boom, now you have Facebook cover templates to work with. And again, they're all customizable. Now, when you pay for the annual, like I do, you get unlocked to all the access to this website. But the free version is absolutely powerful. They do not sponsor me at all, but I use it. I pay for it gladly every year. And remember, as a working photographer or creative, it's a write-off. So spending some money is good money spent, okay? When it comes to stuff like this, okay? It just makes your content look that much more impactful. Now, here's another thing. If you want to look at this. It does Instagram stories, okay? It does portrait size and square for Instagram. And let's go to stories. Look at that. Story videos, okay? You could start an Instagram story video, design it here, right there on Canva. That's why Canva is a super powerful product. I love it. And honestly, the free version is really, really good. Okay, so head on over to canva.com. If you don't know about it, now you do. But that would be my advice to you, Simon, as to what I would do when it comes to thumbnails and creating thumbnails. Now, here's the thing here's some other advice about thumbnails. So that's the creative side. So now you got your awesome thumbnail, and you're wondering, okay, in the design process, how do I make it, like, what's important? First is keep it simple. Keep it engaging. Does it make you want to stop and say, what is that, right? A lot of times you'll see color and some like cool little graphics and whatnot. Again, Canva has a lot of that built into it. And the other thing is your take your time with your artwork. Make sure it looks good. Because when it comes to ranking your video, your title and your thumbnail are the two most important things when it comes to Google and placing the importance or relevance of your video, okay? Again, your title, your thumbnail, and then the caption, the description down below, especially that first paragraph, let's say first 2 lines, okay? So you really want to be on your A game. Take your time. That's why I take my time and say, what is it that I think people would be, again, searching for on YouTube and Google? And that's why the title of your YouTube video needs to be extremely relevant to the audience you're trying to potentially reach, right? So if they're looking for like, oh, basics of like social media marketing, well, my video may pop up because it says fundamentals of social media marketing you need to know. And that also goes for your Facebook videos. When you're posting videos, it looks much cleaner having thumbnails ready to go. But also, again, the other part of it is choosing the right title. Those 2 things, believe it or not, are important. That's why Canva has been a cornerstone to my social media content creation, okay? Creating content is great, but then having a marketing strategy is even better. But you got to put the 2 together. and I use this for at work at Pure Mind Music and Audio Production School at Institute, and then I also use it for myself. So that's how much I trust it. Again, I'm not sponsored by them. I'm just sharing with you what I use personally. So check them out over at Canva. I don't care if you're promoting your next DJ gig, okay, or what do you call it? Pop shop for you designers, okay? Haircut special, whatever. Canva, you can create some dope graphics there, and you don't need to be an expert at it, okay? I've just been doing it for about 3 years now. That I'm pretty damn good at using it, but I didn't need any instructions or tutorial to do it, so you don't either, all right? So, Simon, I hope that helped out a bit. Awesome. Cool. No, not a problem. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to help, and I hope go check them out. Look at that, I'm getting all these notifications. That is so gosh. Okay. Now, so we talked about hashtags. We talked about the importance of creating content that that creates engagement, right? Engagement again can be any way that they interact with or engage with your content. So that could be a like, that could be hopefully a comment, and most importantly, a comment and a like, right? All those things are important. Hey, Jasmine, how are you? So those are a few things. Whew, I'm sorry. As a matter of fact, I think I need some water. I should have grabbed some water. Does anybody else have some questions? Feel free to post them down below. If you're on Instagram, this is your time. You can post. I definitely would love to hear from all of you in terms of what you've been struggling with. And for everybody else on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter, I got you. I see you. Okay. Let me switch this over. I'm just switching on. There we go. Okay. There we go. Okay. I'm just going to say this real quick. If you are on any social media, or you want to make sure you want to stay engaged with me, feel free to pick your poison. Follow me at Robert Silver Photography on Facebook. You could go ahead and like that one, or on Instagram at Robert Silver Photography, Twitter at Robert Silver Photog, and yes, I'm on TikTok. Okay, I'm trying to win a viral dance challenge one day. Okay, and not break a hip. And so, but you could see me try to attempt to not break my hip over at Robert Silver Photography on TikTok. Okay. This is for those that don't know, Marketing Monday is going to be the how do I market myself and monetize my efforts as an artist. And my channel is about photography and videography, so that's who I'm leaning toward the most. But this is really open to any creative or small business that's looking to leverage their brand and increase their impact on social media. Okay. There was a lot of trial and error on my end to understand what the fundamentals were, and I'm still learning myself, but I see quickly what does work, and one thing is being able to be nimble, and that's super important. Here's a fundamental as of right now. A fundamental right now is the future is in video. For what we like it or not, this is where it's at. And I'm gonna actually do my next video is gonna be about that. We're gonna talk about photographers. You need to get into video. That's gonna be the next one. So tune in. It is what it is. All of our cameras, especially if they're mirrorless, do very good video and extremely well photos. Photos are no longer an issue whether you could produce a good photo. There now you need to level up and step up. It's like, with inflation going on, well, there's an oversaturation of photographers. Like a still image is great if you're one of the 1% that can take that image at a particular moment that creates an immense amount of impact on society, the culture, and lifestyle. You're shooting for some big name magazine. Until then, you're shooting to make weddings and headshots and family portraits and all that. That's great, but video, you you could immediately double your rates just through video because it's that much more intensive, and less clients understand how to create good quality video, and therefore the bar is pretty high. Therefore, you can exploit that opportunity and come in as a professional, and therefore charge accordingly, and you can work half as less throughout the year by with the same gear you got, hypothetically, and you'll need audio and stuff like that. But the point is that you could spend 9 hours on a set, or 8 hours on a set, and make 2 to 4 times as much versus if you spent the same amount of time doing photos. And me, again, I'm here because I love my passion, but I want my passion to make me some profit. Okay, so if you want your passion to make some profit, keep listening. Subscribe to my channel right now. Okay, on YouTube, or if you're on Facebook, smash that like. If you're on Twitter, keep doing that. And if you're on Instagram, I'm thanking you right now. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. So everybody just checking on in. Okay. Um, Real quick, if you can hear my audio, let me know how my audio sounds. I don't even know how this thing is going. Let me know if I sound good. I edited a little bit of my audio, and I'm using StreamYard, folks. And quite honestly, it's a learning experience. But do not allow your intimidation of this whole social media madness and being perfect. Don't let it stop you from creating content and putting it out there. It's better for you to create content and post it than not to do it at all. Oh, here's another thing, a basic. You have to be consistent. I mean, wow. The algorithm is like a hungry beast. It really is. I don't care what social media you're on. The algorithm is a hungry beast, and it needs to be constantly fed. Fed what? Content. Okay? So much so that Instagram actually compensates you on creating Instagram reels. So therefore, they pay you to make content, and then they punish you too. You ever notice if you slip and do not post for a day or two, all of a sudden your followers go down, stuff like that. I see it all the time. Hey, thanks a lot. I appreciate you popping in, everybody. So I appreciate it all. Now, that's why you need to really consider this like a part-time gig. I would say consider it a part-time gig because honestly, again, go back to my original model, which is 80% marketing, 20, maybe even less, in actual shooting. If you do that, you're going to start to make more money. So that's why social media you need to be social. You need to be engaged with it. I get it. Trust me, I just want to throw my phone against the wall and everything else. I'm happy when I'm at a cell service. But the fact is, unless you want to pay thousands of dollars a month on paid advertising, meaning click per, pay per clicks and everything else, Google ads, Facebook ads. If you don't want to spend that much, then the organic traffic you're going to get is going to come from your social media. That's the best because they are already familiar with your content, and now they're ready to book you by the time they get to your site. Most people who go to your site are interested in your work, and then after that, can they afford you? Okay? But you need to be consistently creating. YouTube, one video minimum a week, if not more. The big YouTubers are doing 3 to 4 to 5. God bless them. That's why I created Marketing Monday to discipline myself because I'm horrible at that. That's my weakness. I need to be very consistent, and so that's why Marketing Monday, I'm going to at least be doing this. If I can't make a review video, I can't do this. So that's what I recommend for you. Look at your insight. Create a professional profile on your Instagram. Look at the analytics, the insights or analytics, depending on the platform you're on. And then say, okay, when is my audience most engaged or logged in? And then time your post according to that. Don't be timing it because you just feel like you're best at 7 p.m. It needs to be with intent, okay? You need to be intentional with your post. You might be doubling your engagement just based off the time that you post. So there you go. You're gaining ground right there, okay? Let me see. Let me just check everything. Make sure I don't see any questions I did not idiot. Okay. Um, so that is one important thing, obviously, is just being super consistent about your content, making sure that you create a schedule. Me, it's in the morning, a particular time. Okay. And not all social medias are the same. Actually, Facebook may want you to do a little bit earlier than Instagram because those people are engaging maybe a little bit earlier. While Instagram, a lot of people are on the bar and stuff like that. So it's a little bit later in the day. So that's super important right there, too. So that's why I'm saying go look at those insights and analytics. That leads me to one of the last things. There's a lot of fundamental. Oh, oh, okay. Oh, okay. Jipitome photography on Instagram just said I just went over this with my I can't see, I'm sorry, I can't read it. Mentees today about the insights. Yep, and time blocking in the calendar by setting up days to create content, website updates, and automations, etc. Yes, 100%. That's a big fat facts. Absolutely. Um, you need to do it. I do it like when I'm done with this. I have one Zoom meeting with my little film crew for a short we're gonna make, and then I'm gonna sit down and already look at the calendar, what I'm gonna post for tomorrow, etc. Believe it or not, I wake up at 5 a.m. every day, and it's really to get posts ready for 9, 10 o'clock, because I'm posting not only for myself, but most importantly, I'm posting for the company I work at Pure Mind Music and Audio Institute. So I'm also creating a plethora of content so that when the time comes, they're all being scheduled out. I also use later.com. You can use Hootsuite to manage all of it. Trust me, those tools are super helpful. Um, we use Later, and quite honestly, I'm really digging the way Later is doing their whole thing. It looks really, really good, and it's really easy. They have a great um, app which you can upload photos right from your app to it, and then schedule those posts with captions, hashtags, everything else. So I highly recommend um, you doing just that. You need to schedule these out. Take it as it's a business. Use a perhaps something as simple as a spreadsheet, and then looking at it and dating it and say, okay, on Monday I want this one, this kind of content. This one's gonna be more educational. This one will be funny. Maybe I'll try to do a remix of somebody else's, right, and stuff like that. So that's one thing. Now, with all your efforts and with all of your good intention, it doesn't matter what you're doing if you're not measuring your efforts. Meaning, if you're not you need to at least understand the basics of analytics, because the truth is in the numbers, people. You know if your strategy is working or not simply by by the numbers that the insights are giving you. Your analytics are literally the language of your success. That's what I'll just say it like that. And what I mean is, it's you screaming at you whether you're failing or not. You know, if you're losing followers and why you're losing followers, it's all there in black and white, pretty much. At the end of the day, that's where the rubber meets the road. Okay, if you're creating tons of noise, you're going viral, you're doing all these things, well, it's going to reflect in your analytics, and the opposite will reflect as well. Okay, you can't blame anybody else. There's nobody that's going to come in and swoop in and save you. You just have to look at those numbers and say, damn, and own those facts, whether it be for good or for worse. So, there are certain basic things in analytics that you want to look out for, right? One is impressions, okay, your reach. How many people saw your shit? That's what it's about. Impressions. You want to look, that's super important. I don't care what social media content, you want impressions. How far, what was the reach? Again, you want to get your content in front of people that are not your friends, your family, your lover, your whatever, because they're all gonna, they are either gonna just support any damn thing you're doing, right? You go, oh, I'm gonna make candles today. Okay, yeah, I'll support you. It's great stuff. They're gonna lie to you. You need raw new audience, people with money in their pocket, looking for, or time on their hands to look, consume your content, and hopefully purchase your service. So impressions are super important. In other words, reach. Look at that. Look at the change over time when you're looking at your analytics. The next is, like I mentioned earlier, is engagement. Okay. Not only did people see it, did they react to it? Did they did your content resonate with them enough for them to engage with your content? That's why impressions is reach. Did they see it? Engagement, did they like it enough to engage with it? Okay, you see how we're adding up a successful content right here? Impression, engagement. Okay, reach and see, and did it grab them, right? Whether it was educational, inspirational, or was it just downright entertaining? Okay, that's why I started this whole conversation with off, is your content at answering any of those three? And then the last but not least is followers. Do they want to um, continue to see your content? That means it really relates to their lifestyle, your content. Whether, I don't care if it's the most silliest shit on Instagram, if it relates and adds a benefit to their life, they're going to continue to want to see more of it by pressing that follow, subscribe button. So those three things, those three top things, there's a lot more in it that we could go into, but obviously I only have a few more minutes. But those top three things, when you're looking at your analytics, okay, what's my impressions? Meaning, how many more people saw it, or how many people didn't get to see it? Right? Did it drop? Am I slipping? Why aren't people seeing it? Am I using the right hashtags? That's going to be a good way to get organic people that are not following you who see your content. Believe it or not, they don't have to be following you to see your content. You know this. Number two, is it engaging with them? Is it connecting and resonating with them to the point and emotionally grabbing them that they actually want to comment or engage with your with your post? Do they just want to press the like? Even I'll take that too. All right. Your ultimate goal is get a like and a comment, because that's going to shoot it out. The algorithm's going to shoot it out to more people because they see this is a relevant piece of content, and that's why it's going to pop up on people's explore page and stuff like that, or on their feed. Okay, more and more and more. That's why when you go to YouTube, people are always saying, press the like, press the like, press the like, press the like, because it's telling the algorithm this video is relevant, it's important, and it needs to be shared to more people. More people are more than likely going to want to watch it. And for YouTube and all these social medias, that's awesome. That means it's more time on their platform, so everybody wins according to the algorithm. So again, impressions is reach. How many people saw my stuff? Engagement is, did it relate to them, right? Did it, not only did it reach them, was it relatable to them enough where they emotionally connected with it? Okay, by pressing a like or commenting or sharing. That's another way of engaging, or saving your video because they felt it was real good content. They do that on YouTube. It's called save for later, right? So all that stuff is underneath engagement. And the last but not least is your followers. Okay. That's pretty self-explanatory. Did you get more followers? Did you get less? But ultimately, followers are saying, your content resonates with me so much that I want to see more of it without having to find you. You come to me. And that's basically, they're opening their door to their time, right? So you have to obviously repay them by continue to give them either educational, entertaining, or inspiring content. And that's why I said earlier, you need to be consistent, because you're rewarding those who are following you with more content. Okay. All right. So I went over a lot today. There is so much more to go, but I figured this would be a great first episode. The last one was a warm up. I think you knew about that. For those that follow me consistently, I'll be back on next week. And darn it, what was the topic I said I was gonna? What was I gonna say? We're gonna talk about Oh my goodness, I had a good we were talking about thumbnails and etc. It'll pop up. But stay more. What you want to do is either on my YouTube channel, Facebook. Well, matter of fact, on all the platforms, especially Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter. I will be for sure posting what the topic is of the next Marketing Monday topic, which will be next Monday at 8 p.m. Pacific time. So for sure, get ready for that. If you have any marketing questions when it comes to, oh, video. Oh, yes, it says Alyssa. Okay, thank you, Alyssa. Oh, with the clutch. Thank you so much. Yes. Okay, next week we're going to talk about, I'm glad you reminded me of that. Thank you, Alyssa. That was, yes, yes. Yeah, thank you, Alyssa, again. You go check her out, Alyssa.Lily, Alyssa underscore Lily underscore photography on Instagram. She's super talented, and she's starting to pop off on TikTok too. So go check her out there. And Simon, thank you very much. Videos, yes. Oh, okay. See, everybody's listening. I'm really appreciative of that. That means it's resonating with you. And because of that, I'm going to reward you with an awesome episode about why still photographers need to at least put their foot in the water of video, because it's helped me tremendously. Okay, and I'm going to share with you some stories. I'm also going to share with you some advice to slowly transition to include that into your product line. Okay, um, as a just real quick, as a still photographer, you have your first still photography. You can offer headshots, portraits, etc. That's a immediate product line off of photography, right? There you go. And you could only scale so much, whether unless you hire other photographers to work for you, and or you could charge more and more and more. But eventually, you only could charge so much. So that's why video is a great way for you to scale your business with almost little to no effort in the big scheme of things. But I'm going to share with you the lessons I learned when I did it, and I want to help you out with that. And this is just the new reality. Video is here to stay. It is what it is, okay? But there's a huge benefit for you too. Once you get with the program, start creating some video content. Get your video questions together. Even if it says, I don't care, I forget video, be damned with video, don't worry. I was there too. But you know what? I'm actually singing another tune. And I can't wait to share that all with you next week, okay? Now, um, with that said, I want to switch on over to this last bit of business, okay? So, of course, if you want to show your support, you could go ahead. Go to my Cash App, please. It's $ Robert Silver, SLVER 247, or send a super chat if you're with me here on YouTube. And whatever your efforts or whatever it is that you can do, it will greatly be appreciated, because it helps me to continue to create quality content and also allow me to free up some other time that I don't have to work on another project to do some research to bring you some juicy marketing tips and advice. Okay. With all that said, remember, you can always follow me here on Facebook, Robert Silver Photography, Instagram at Robert Silver Photography, also on TikTok. You can find me there, Robert Silver Photography, and Twitter too, Robert Silver Photog. Pretty much everywhere. Just find me, all right? You also check out my work, robertsilverphotography.com. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, post them down below. I greatly appreciate it. I'll see you all next week. Thank you very much for tuning in.